What does special education mean? It's a question that I hear from parents a lot. And you may be wondering yourself, what exactly is special education and how does it compare to what you may have experienced when you were a child? Hi, everyone. I'm Tonya Wallum. I'm a master IEP coach, I'm a disability advocate, and I'm a certified teacher. Welcome to Water Prairie, a place where we explore disability advocacy, IEP education, and support for parents of children with special needs and disabilities. If you have a question you'd like for me to answer in a future episode, leave a comment below and I'll try to address that. It may be related to an IEP, it may be related to special education, or just general disability question about your child or someone that you would like to be able to help support. Today, we're going to tackle the fundamental question of what is special education. If you're like I am, many years ago, special education looked very different than it does today. If you're younger, it may look similar to what it was then, but you may not quite understand exactly what it means. And you may have a child who's received a diagnosis and the school's asking you about special education. So let's dig into what that means so that you can understand it better and to know what those questions might be. Simply put, special education is a customized program of instruction designed to meet the unique learning needs of students with disabilities. Here's the key takeaway. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Special education is individualized. It's about providing the right support and services for each child based on their unique and specific needs and learning style. It can take different forms, and this might include things like modifications. A modification would be an adjustment to how assignments are presented or completed. For example, the student may have extra time for a test or for assignments, or they may use assistive technology of some sort. It might include accommodations. This would include changes to the learning environment itself. For example, your child may have preferential seating where they sit closer to the teacher or away from a window or something like that. It might also include noise reduction, where they could wear noise reduction headphones or something to help with a stimulus that's bothering them. And it also would include or might include specialized instruction. Specialized instruction would be working with a speech and language pathologist, an occupational therapist, or another specialist. You may have heard the terms IEP and 504 plan, and you may wonder how they relate to special education. Basically, a child receiving special education services must have an IEP. The IEP is the legal document that outlines those services. It's the cornerstone of special education. However, not every child with a disability receives special education services. A child with a disability might have a 504 plan, which provides accommodations within the general education classroom, but they're not receiving specialized instruction and are not considered to be in special education. They're still in general education. Does this sound confusing to you? Why don't we look at this a little bit differently? For me, it helps a little bit to have an example. So let's look at two different students. Student one has ADHD, and student two also has ADHD. But we're going to look at the difference between the two of them and their educational path. So, student one has ADHD that significantly impacts their ability to learn, even with accommodations. They require specialized instruction in a small group setting that addresses specific learning deficits that are related to attention and executive function. They also receive speech therapy to address social communication challenges. This student has an IEP and is receiving special education services. So now let's look at student number two, who also has ADHD. This student has ADHD that makes it harder for them to focus in class, but they're able to learn the general education curriculum with just some support. They have a 504 plan that provides accommodations like extended time on test, preferential seating near the teacher, and the ability to take a break whenever they need it. They remain in the general education classroom and they do not receive specialized instruction. The student has a 504 plan and is not receiving special education services. Special education is about creating an inclusive and supportive learning environment so that every student has the opportunity to thrive. If you believe that your child may benefit from special education services, your first step is going to be to reach out to the school. You can send an email or a letter to your child's teacher or your counselor. You do, however, want to put it in writing of some sort, whether it's a physical letter or an email. You can express your concerns to them and request that they do an initial evaluation. Those are the words you want to ask for, an initial evaluation to see if your child requires special education services. As a master IEP coach, I can work with you to help you develop strategies to support your child and navigate the special education system. If you want more helpful IEP and advocacy tips, be sure to subscribe to this channel. You can also use the link in the description below to schedule a free IEP consultation with me if you're interested in working together. And if you want to know more about the difference between an IEP and a 504 plan, check out this video. I'll see you next time.